Welcome to Grapes and Debates, a podcast where we'll uncork some incredible wine and debate varietals of issues within the restaurant industry, one glass at a time.
Well, here we are.
Boom. Episode 83, gentlemen.
Wow.
That's the 83rd episode.
83 weeks.
83 weeks in a row.
Number two. I
You-
remember that.
you were number two.
After
That's
Kim
right.
Braddock.
Yeah, you sure were.
Yeah.
So,
2-hour party over there.
Grapes and Debates. We start off every Grapes and Debates talking about wine, drinking good wine, and then we're going to debate a topic that is pertinent to either the wine industry or the restaurant industry, but nothing too heavy. We'll stay away from politics and
Religion.
yeah.
Anything else? Let's start.
Yeah.
Two taboos.
Right. Yeah. So, Adam Barringer, founder, SoNapa Grille, business partner, Joe Bates, and we are here with Pablo Alfaro with Pacific Southern Wine Company. You've been on the podcast before.
Yeah, that was number two.
Number two.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we are, 83.
But number
You told
one
me it was going to be 45 minutes, so we ended up at 2 hours.
I know.
It was
Yeah.
a beautiful afternoon.
It was.
That was great wine.
And we have some fantastic wines. Robert Craig Winery. We have Chuck Spelman, who is the vice president of sales for Robert Craig Winery. And I'm looking forward to you talking about them. And then after this, we're going to be doing a really cool wine tasting with really intimate wine tasting with 12 to 14 people, where you get to share the very same thing we're doing now, just with a group of our loyal guests.
Great. Look forward to it.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah. What are we
Pleasure to be here.
That's
LaFleur.
fantastic.
It's our 22 LaFleur,
Okay.
which is this is our inaugural release of this wine.
Okay.
Tell you a little bit about that if you like.
Yeah, please.
Why we're doing this.
Yeah.
If I may tell you a little bit about Robert Craig and what that is and why we're here. Bob Craig was a sort of a mountain pioneer. Started in the early 70s at Hess.
Yep, I read that. Yes.
And
That's at Mount Veeder.
Yep, Mount
Yep.
Veeder, and he's responsible for really pioneering those AVAs back in the early 70s.
Okay.
Plotted the Howell Mountain property in the early 90s, and that's our first release was I think 92.
Okay.
Fast forward early 2000s, Elton Sloan came along, and since then he kind of spearheaded the Robert Craig wines to where we are today, which is really in the Howell Mountain AVA.
Okay.
And so we're really known for these dynamic mountain lots that are on the very, very top of the summit. And what the LaFleur is, it's a blend of our Howell Mountain estate along with our Mount Veeder property. And then we blended in some fruit from our friend of ours that grows some amazing wine in Dry Creek.
Oh,
So it's a little
we
Sonoma
just-
hybrid and
That's
Napa
awesome.
Valley
Yeah.
wine. And this wine is intended for primarily on premise. So it's a less expensive wine than
Right.
our typical Napa releases.
and I believe this particular vintage is 54% Napa,
Napa, yes.
46% Sonoma.
Right.
So you're getting some of that valley, the Dry Creek Valley, some of that fruit, and then you're getting mountain fruit with it. So you get a really nice, balanced
So the listeners,
wine.
and we don't always know, they don't always know. So mountain fruit versus valley floor fruit. They're both Cabernets. What's the difference?
Huh. Well, as Elton Sloan would like to say, the Valley Floor wines are those really overripe plot hoppers, but I don't want to be disrespectful. They're all great wines.
All of Napa.
No, they're Valley Floor wines are great wines. They're higher yields primarily. They're wines that are usually more easy to drink. When you grow wines up on the mountains, you're usually going to get wines that are lower yields, that are usually more harder to farm,
Okay.
and wines that are going to be usually bigger and stronger.
So lower yields, maybe a little more dynamic.
Yes.
bolder.
Well, I would
Yeah.
say
Okay.
certainly lower yields. Napa as a whole produces about 9 million cases of wine a year. Now you take that, you have Mount Veeder, probably produces only 40,000 cases from Mount Veeder. And so that's where you're going to get some from Robert Craig, you can get from Hess, and then you jump over to Howell Mountain, it's very similar. You're probably getting about 40,000 cases from Howell Mountain. And then you have Spring Mountain. So between the three, you may have 6% of truly mountain fruit, and then you probably have another 4% of hillside fruit. So collectively, the valley floor produces about 90%
The majority,
of the grapes, and with the mountain fruit. And I was just recently in Napa on Howell Mountain at Oshag Hennessy.
Oh, sure. O'Shaughnessy.
O'Shaughnessy. Yeah, O'Shag. And but what you find, and we were also at Chapelet.
We were.
And so what you find is that when that marine layer rolls in and begins to cool off the valley, that mountain fruit is still getting some
It's
intense sunshine.
Right.
But then you get the breezes and it keeps it a little cooler. Those grapes, they're a little bit smaller. They stay on the vine a little bit longer.
Exactly.
So they pick up some of that minerality because they got to fight for the water.
So it's been around since the 90s, and they just dropped this bottle this year. So
Yes. So
just
this,
something to have another line.
yeah. So we used to have a wine, our Howell Mountain Cuvée, which was our on-premise restaurant wine that was taking its place. But the Howell Mountain Cuvée was wines that were off the vineyard that weren't going to make the estate wines.
Okay.
They were younger vines. Well, now those vines have matured, and now they're going into our estate wines. And the Howell Mountain Cuvée kind of went away. So we had a lot of restaurants that were kind of, were important to us, and we wanted to keep those placements. So we said, well, let's come up with this Robert Craig Lafleur program.
That's
That's
really,
what this is.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I think the other day that we had it, we thought the same thing.
Yeah.
All right. So also part of your background, you're with Han.
That's right. Yeah,
you know-
I saw the SLH spell on there.
Did you work with Dave Pratt? Did you overlap at all with him?
That name is familiar.
He came in for a short period.
Yeah.
He's from Jacksonville Beach.
Okay.
And he was
Was a bully guy.
he was a vice
Yeah, I know
president, like let's say vice president of sales for the East Coast for Foley Family Wines, and then he left and worked with Han for a short period, and then they were sold.
Right to Gallo.
Yep, to
Right.
Gallo.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I also saw you worked for Robert Mondavi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Been around a little bit. Yeah.
Did you know Paula Cornell?
Oh, yes.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah. Sparkler.
Yeah.
Sparkles.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
I love Paula.
She's awesome. But I think she did. She
Got a chance to
worked
do
for
a tasting at her home.
but she
last
worked
year.
for Robert Mondavi.
That's
for a long
right. Yeah.
time.
That's how I know her.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's actually how Elton and I know each other. He was at Mondavi back in the 90s when I was there.
Okay.
So we've known each other for quite a long time.
Okay.
But also going back to the mountain AVAs, there's two different mountain, sides. There's the Vaca range, which is, Atlas Peak and Howell Mountain on the east side. And then on the west side, you have the Mayacamas range, and they're so distinctive.
Sure.
So the Howell Mountain range is all volcanic rock, and that's where our estate is on that, on the east side.
On the east side.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Of
The
Napa.
east side of Napa.
Yeah.
Got it.
Right.
Way up on top. So we're
Yeah.
23
So the
feet.
Mayacamas split Sonoma and Napa.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we
And
were
the
at,
Vacas are on the east side.
so
of Napa.
we're at Chapelet,
Yeah. You're on the east side.
right? But so how far are you from there?
We're another 25, 30 miles north of that. Lake Hennessy,
Yeah,
and
okay.
then a little
Right.
bit north of that.
You got to
That
cruise
point that
over.
far.
You got to cruise over
Yeah,
Trials Valley.
Yes, exactly. Up Bean Grade, and then there
Yeah.
you go. We're actually 2,300 feet above the valley floor, so
Yeah.
we're the highest vineyard in Napa.
And the story of Robert Craig starting out, I think he started out with 8 acres.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Yeah,
And then he, just I guess followed his passion, had some investors
Yeah.
after he left Hess, and
that's right.
8 acres, and now you're farming 82, and then also sourcing fruit from Sonoma.
Yeah, with this
Right.
new affinity program as
Okay.
well.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of affinity,
Yeah,
that's what we're
go.
going to
Let's
next.
go there.
So we have a Sonoma and Napa appellated. Now we're going strictly to Napa.
Napa with a 22 vintage.
Okay.
You ready, Joe? I mean, you
I'm ready.
you got a little left in there.
I was going for a blend.
Talking about blends. A little bit of Malbec, a little bit of Merlot, a little bit of
Café.
In the affinity?
Yeah, it's a Bordeaux blend.
Okay.
Now, this wine is intended to, you can sell this wine. It's a beautiful ageability, but it also is intended to be a wine that you can put at your table tonight and have for dinner. So it's one of our entry-level wines.
Okay.
It's a wine that is, what I consider to be right up there with some of the, better Napa Valley Cabernets,
Sure.
in my opinion. Of course, I sell it. Good to say that.
That is nice. And you can tell, I don't want to say from a quality standpoint, but just it's a little bit softer than the Lafleur.
Yeah. And we'll keep going up. As you go
sure.
into these wines, you're going to feel that there's going to be
Right.
keep going up a notch.
That is good.
Drinks a little brighter than the Lafleur for me. I don't know, the fruit is bright in this one.
You're getting more of that
drinks-
Howell Mountain fruit in this wine. So it's a blend of our Howell Mountain estate, and also some of the Veeder goes into this from the Pimray property. And there's also going to be some wine from Rutherford that we blend in here as well.
Okay.
A little bit of Rutherford fruit from the Valley Floor.
And
That rounds it out.
how many cases total does Robert Craig produce?
Well, it's less than 10,000 cases.
Okay.
So this is all family estate, 9,000 cases total production.
Wow.
So very, very small.
Affinity
property.
is the biggest production.
Yes.
Okay.
3,000 cases.
Yeah.
And I know that we tasted this maybe once before a long time ago. And just recently when you taste this on him and you told us that Chuck was going to be in town, absolutely, let's do something.
No,
And I am I love cabs.
Yep.
This is,
Right on.
Well, if this is entry level, I mean, this is drinking. Great.
Yeah, right?
I can't wait to move
Yeah,
up the ladder.
yeah.
Jesus. And who did you say the winemaker was? What did you say?
Yeah, this wine is Keith Emerson is our consulting winemaker, and Jason Price is our head winemaker. He's been with us for 10 years, and he works side by side with Elton Sloan, who has an amazing palate. And Jason comes to us from Checkerboard,
okay.
so he's got an amazing background.
Okay.
So the three of those gentlemen have amazing synergy together, and they put some amazing wine together.
Where's Checkerboard located?
Napa,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, this is drinking great. Thank you so much.
Keith Emerson. is
yeah.
your
Consulting winemaker. He's been
Yeah.
with Elton for quite
He's in
a long
Calistoga,
time.
right?
Napa, Vineyard 29. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Oh, do you? Yeah, Vineyard 29.
yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Owner Nora.
Yeah. Some
We did a wine dinner here.
nice wines.
Yeah. That's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's very knowledgeable. Like,
Mhm.
Beautiful, beautiful wines.
Wow. That was good.
So affinity, we have on our label, it says the perfect unity of components sharing a special origin. That's what affinity refers to. And Elton would always say it's affinity, not infinity. So when you say infinity, he'll go, it's affinity, it's affinity.
Okay.
So remember that. It's
wasn't-
affinity, not infinity.
Okay, so I wasn't sure what it meant because when I was on the website, and again, Pablo introduced us to these wines. We spent a little bit of time enjoying them. Don't know much about Robert Craig, but I got on the website and there was a heading on one of the sections, Affinity and Beyond.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my
So
God.
I'm
It's
thinking,
pretty cute.
all right, what is doing?
You know,
Yeah.
keep
Especially
it in
if
your
he
head.
doesn't like the word infinity.
Yes.
That's pretty funny.
It's affinity.
Affinity and Beyond.
Yes.
And you've been with these guys how long?
Not that long in terms of working with
Okay.
Robert Craig, but going back and being associated with Robert Craig wines, I go way back with Elton, cycling friends and wine buddies, and associates for decades. So, yeah.
All right, so I'm going to just give you tell you a
It was
story.
big while we were out there.
No, I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you a story
Here
about
we go.
cycling.
Okay.
you ready?
Yep.
I've done Ironman. In
Oh,
fact, I
boy.
just did a half Ironman,
Good for you.
and I almost
I
died.
ride the Peloton.
Right, and it was in Augusta, Georgia, because here all we ride it's all flat, and we jokingly say that headwinds are our hills. There's no hills. If I go on a ride, I can go 50 miles, 117 feet of climb. I took my bike cross country. We were in Chalk Hill, and I left out of the house, and I just left out of the house, and I went up to Chalk Hill Winery and thought I was going to die.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it was just,
And that was just a couple miles away from
I think the ride was 6 miles. It was, I mean, the hills, it
He came
just,
back. I was like, "What's wrong, dude?" He's like, "I
it could have been the 10 days of drinking wine ahead of that. But it was just the difference of,
Elevation. baby.
Elevation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, where I live, in Sausalito, I go out my door and you're immediately on a climb.
Wow.
Yeah, there's no getting away from it.
No. Yeah. That's
That's a lot of climbing.
speaking of climbing. Yeah. Let's climb.
Okay,
We're climbing up to Howell Mountain.
These are 22, I believe.
This is the
21.
19.
19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I believe the 19 scored 97 points from Galoni.
Okay.
So this is going to be
Is this a big one?
it's a big one.
19 was a good year.
Well, you know what? We have our own scoring system.
Yeah.
Good.
How does that work?
I think it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
No, I mean, when I pour myself another glass.
There's not many that don't pass that test.
So this wine is grown on volcanic rock, Aiken red volcanic rock.
Okay.
Thank you.
There's really about 2 feet of soil, and you can hit that red rock. So you get less than 2 tons per acre. It's very, very small yields.
Wow.
The skin to juice ratio on these wines is very, very small. So I get these big monster tannins.
Great color.
I get almost a little bit of vegetal on that. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Getting fruit and just a little.
But again, maybe it's
You know, that graphite,
yeah,
red rock,
yeah.
you know?
That is good. That's really
So
good.
what's the production on Mount Vita and Howell Mountain?
So the production on this particular Howell Mountain estate is less than 2,000 cases. Comes in, I think, about 1,900 cases we can produce.
They come in 6-pack. Mount
Yeah.
Vita, Howell Mountain.
Okay.
And
They come in 12-pack is the Lafleur and Affinity.
so there's 9 acres under vine on this estate.
Okay. So from where this estate is to where you have essentially your 80 acres, but that's still up
Yeah.
on the mountain.
Yeah. So the 80 acres, includes
That's
the
it?
candlestick.
Okay. And that's
estate.
it.
Yeah.
2,300
Yes. It's at 2,300 feet.
feet.
We actually get snow in the wintertime.
Yeah.
I mean, there's pictures of the vineyard like with 2
Right.
inches or 3 inches of snow. And like you said, above the fog line.
Right.
So, it does particularly interesting things to the grapes
Mm-hmm.
when there's fog down below and you still have sunshine.
Mm,
What do you think of that, Pablo?
I love it. Mount Vita and Howell Mountain, I think.
yeah.
What's the difference on the soil between Mount Vita and Howell Mountain?
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
Totally different. So
different?
the Vaca range is made up of volcanic soil. And that's going to give you a whole different, palette of flavors. On the Mycomus range, that's essentially uplifted ocean floor.
Those are like tectonic plates.
Tectonic
rising
plates, exactly.
Instead of volcano.
Right.
Look
Look at that. Big words coming out of here.
Tectonic shift. Because
Right?
yes.
Joe did his homework.
So, sandstone, gravel, rock.
But they truly are different.
Yeah, fossilized, soils.
Do you know it's an interesting fact, and
That's right.
I've mentioned this on podcast a couple of times since getting back from Napa. But what makes Napa and Sonoma so incredible? Number one is the soil types.
Mhm.
There's, again, according to who you listen to, there's about 107 different soil types in that very small place, which is
Think about that.
different than
107.
different than anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
Then you add to it, it's a Mediterranean climate. Only 2% of the world is in a Mediterranean climate. And then you add to that,
I look like I should be in a Mediterranean climate.
you really do. Good thing it's not Jamaica.
Oof.
Oh no. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
we're praying for you.
Yeah.
And then the third is the marine influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Like
you
Carneros.
you add all of that together, you get some of the
It's a special place.
World-class
yeah,
wines.
Special place to grow wine. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
And they
why,
continue to prove that.
You get the soil, the climate, the elevations,
sorry, Florida doesn't have those same components.
No.
Yeah, we got
the latitudinal effect as well.
Yeah.
So still family owned?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
okay.
it's basically Elton is he's one of the investors, and there's 2 other investors in
Okay.
Canada.
Is Bob still around?
Bob has not
That's okay.
passed in 19. Yeah.
In 2019.
2019.
Oh, that's the year we're drinking, right?
Yes, Lynn is still with us.
And she's involved in the winery?
No. She helps consume.
The kids?
She's a
good.
consumer.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
big
need
consumer.
Yeah, we need consumers.
Yes.
The kids carrying on the legacy?
I believe he may have passed as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So there's a funny
Very
story
good.
Yeah.
This wine is fantastic.
that back in the days, Robin Williams used
Yes.
to have a vineyard, and you can keep the stuff.
Well,
Oh, really? Okay, so Frogsley? Oh, no.
Robin Williams.
Oh, no, Robin Williams. I thought he's okay.
the famous actor,
Yeah.
comedian,
Yeah.
loved
Yeah.
wine, and he had a property on Mount Veeder called Pimray
I did see that. Yes.
that Bob helped plant and farmed with him. And when he passed away, he sold it to the Tesseron family of Poney-Canay.
Okay.
And a portion of that vineyard was going to be held for one of his land owners that helped him, and he apparently didn't want to have it, and so he sold it off. And when he was going to offer it, Elton said, "Hey, I'll be happy to buy that from
Wow.
you." So we got about a 9-acre portion of that.
That's
that
awesome.
was purchased. So that's exactly essentially contiguous with the Pimray property.
Okay.
So that's part of our Mount Beater. We call it Emitet Estate. Egyptian goddess
Egyptian goddess.
of rebirth.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool story.
Yeah.
It is. It's a beautiful,
Getting
beautiful
all that
property.
gas.
And the fact that it was Robin Williams.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
How many wineries have Howell Mountain designations? How many wineries are up there with you?
There's Mount Brave. There's
2030.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Philip
Yeah,
Togney.
there's quite a few.
Still, 2030 is pretty exclusive.
Sure. Oh, it's
Yeah,
exclusive.
I'd say about in that range.
Speaking of which, if we're going to debate something, let's talk about the exclusivity of mountain fruit and
Yeah.
the debate,
And why?
right? The early pioneers that like the Chapelets that ended up there,
Robert
Bob
Craig.
Craig
Mount-
that
Mount
opened
Brave,
up, right? Mount, how did they just what? I think I could put a vineyard
Exactly.
on the highest mountain, and
I mean, now mountain fruits probably is known for producing some great fruit, but back in the 80s, it was probably you could get it cheaper than Valley because it's harder to farm. Maybe nobody thought the grapes would grow well up there or produce good fruit. Where all the great fruit is coming from the valley floor back then. Who knows? It took some pioneers to go.
It really did.
It
did.
grapes up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
it did.
Some vision.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, again, of all the wine produced in the valley, it could be argued that only 6% comes from mountain fruit.
Mhm.
And I don't know what the designation would be. But of that, some of them are the most expensive and most acclaimed wines. And it's not to say that you don't have your valley fruit, that your Quintessa, Paradigm, Screaming. I mean, there's some. Listen, I love Napa,
Yeah.
every bit of it.
Yeah.
But there are some great wines up on the mountains, and for the percentage, the small percentage, there's probably some of the most esteemed wines.
Well, they're certainly the hardest to farm
Hardest to farm.
by far and away. We use
That's probably going to elevate prices.
yes. Well, farming costs are the highest by far.
Right.
You're talking $1 million to farm, our vineyards.
Okay.
I've added $100,000 an acre
Yeah.
to farm.
Wow.
It's every year.
hmm
It's crazy.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is cane pruned, versus cordon pruning.
Okay. What's that mean?
Cane
pruned.
Cane pruning is when every vine is manicured specifically to that varietal. Whereas cordon pruning, the vines are permanently attached to the trellis. So
Kind of like
when you cane prune, every year you select 2 different canes, and
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
so it's a lot of height, a lot of
Okay.
maintenance, a lot of expense goes to it.
I
But
saw
the
a
grapes-
lot of that
yeah.
being out.
Yeah,
And everything hand-picked, I imagine.
handpicked, of course. Yeah.
In fact, we were at Pride Mountain Vineyards and
Felt cane pruned. Yeah.
cane pruned,
Yeah.
but they only go one way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
they go instead of it being like the
That-
typical tea
yeah,
vine,
yeah.
it was just one way.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to learn about the cane pruning where they just leave 2 twigs and whoever's going through clipping the grapes has to determine almost like, okay,
Right.
those are going to be the best 2 for next year.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Cool
Get the
stuff.
best sap you control, so we produce the best clusters, the highest quality,
Right.
Yeah.
less disease.
Chuck, what other varietals do you make in Robert Craig besides Cabernet and the Chardonnay?
Well, there's Malbec, Merlot, Petit Verdot. They do a little bit of Chenin Blanc up on Howell Mountain.
I saw that.
Yeah. And a little Syrah, a little Grenache.
Is most of that DTC? wine
Yes,
club?
yes. Make a little
Zinfandel?
Cote de Craig. Well, we don't make Zinfandel, but we buy some fruit from our neighbor up on Black Sears Vineyard.
Nice. And how big you think you guys gonna grow in the next 3, 4, or 5 years? Like,
Well,
you are at 9,000 cases right now.
right now, if you haven't heard, the wine industry is not
No, it's.
facing quite a bit of
I
few
read a big article about that.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I've heard, but we had our whole 25 harvest in Howell Mountain's been, we're not going to make a wine in 25 on Howell Mountain
Why is
because we had smoke damage.
I did not know
There was
that.
a fire started in Calistoga, the picket fire.
Okay.
And
3 weeks
it
ago, a month
was
ago?
like a couple months ago started. We were just celebrating our harvest
There was
celebration.
no national news on that. Usually we hear about it over
Because
here.
we were out there I was in there May
Yeah.
of this year.
Yeah.
This is
And everything seemed really good.
I think it was like in mid-August.
Mid-August.
Wow.
We were at our salon in downtown Napa, having a celebration of harvest
They have a tasting room
in our tasting room.
in downtown now.
Okay, I wasn't.
It
It
was
was
Thursday afternoon, and having our carnitas and
Sure,
tacos,
yeah.
We love it.
and Lisa Crean, who's one of our
Yeah.
great, she works our tasting room up on the mountain. Showed Elton a little thing about it. Oh, there's a little fire in Calistoga. Like, oh.
unbelievable.
And then, fast forward 2 days later, and then suddenly we're evacuating the entire winery in England up there was,
Right.
being threatened by the fire. So they did a backburn up on Ink Raid. And that backburn that Cal Fire decided to start was the end of it.
Wow.
That smoke just hung over the estate up on Candlestick Ridge and the Robert Craig property long enough that the labs came back and said there was enough smoke taint that we couldn't
Wow.
we couldn't produce wine for
So-
that vintage.
So
Not just
good.
us, but there's a lot of other wineries.
Can you
Right.
sell the grapes to somebody who doesn't get
There's
it?
just no, you just can't. You just can't do it.
Not a good conscience.
Yeah.
You like a smoky Cabernet?
No.
Yes.
Not that smoky.
Look at an ashtray.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's a shame.
And listen, I mean, there's a labor of love. Here at Robert Craig, there's like 9 people in the entire company.
okay.
We're just a small little family-owned wine biz, and this is the 3rd time in the last 7 or 8 years that fires have damaged. We lost a
Really?
harvest.
Third time?
But these wines are so precisely grown and made, and there's so much attention to detail and
Yeah.
so much precision put into these bottles of wine here. I think we're going to make it. I think there's enough wine
Sure.
in the 22, 23, and 24 vintage, and and there's enough quality in these wines that I think we'll get through it. But man, is it tough to make wine these days?
Yeah.
So you're talking about how many cases can we make? It depends on how, not only is Mother
Mother
Nature
Nature.
a son of a gun,
Mother
but
Nature, yeah.
there's all these other, headwinds that we're facing with the, environmental things, with the consumer out there saying, oh, alcohol, this, and
Right.
and who knows?
I'm trying to tell people you can do an Ironman and drink a bottle of wine the night before and still finish.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Good living proof.
4 times.
Yeah.
I ran
5 times.
my best half marathon after being hungover after drinking like 3 bottles of wine with a couple of buddies of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I usually like getting in the water, and I think that at the time, it's like coming up with this. Well, alcohol converts to sugar, and sugar gives me energy, so I'm ready to go in the morning. I don't think there's any truth to that.
Yeah.
You
None.
smell like Chardonnay.
I don't smell like Chardonnay. I can tell you that.
Whatever games you got to play in your head to get through.
Yeah, to get through.
So we opened up something kind of on the secret,
Special.
on the secret here while you
Yeah.
guys were talking.
A stick.
Yeah, can you tell us a little
They
bit?
got is this the 19 stick?
Yes.
The 19
Okay.
stick. Okay, we'll have the stick. It's a Candlestick Ridge. This special property that came on the market to us. This used to belong to the Duckhorns.
Okay.
So if you recall back when the Duckhorn used to offer a Howell Mountain Cabernet,
Okay.
that came off of this vineyard.
All right.
And for some reason, they put it for sale. This beautiful little estate, which is on the very summit,
Wow.
on the very end of Summit Road. It takes a 4x4 to get out to this little property. It's a 100-acre estate, and I believe there's like 25 acres under vine. And Elton, in his genius, was able to get this property.
Wow.
He bought it in 2015.
Okay.
So we replanted it. It's planted to all the top varietals: Cabernet, Cab Franc, Merlot, Syrah. There's some Grenache. And this is our 2019 Candlestick Ridge Estate Cabernet, single vineyard estate Cabernet. So I mean, special wine. We make about 600 cases of this wine. This is a 2019 vintage. It scored 97 points.
It's good. Thank
And
you.
it's Aiken volcanic rock. So it's different than the tufa
Okay.
that we had earlier. It's that red rock. This is more of a white volcanic rock.
Okay.
And if you taste it side by side versus the estate Howell Mountain we tried earlier, you'll see it's a little bit different. There's a little different flavor profile.
That's fantastic. Great fruit, but and the tannins are polished. It's not, punchy in the mouth. It's really very finessed finish,
Yeah.
if you will.
Well, I would just like to say thank you. We're going to wrap this up.
Right.
These are amazing wines. Robert Craig
golfers would like it.
Winery. Yeah, golfers would like it.
For
And you know what? If you listen to the podcast,
yeah, we always do something special.
you know what? We're going to do something special. And we're doing it for all the members that listen to this
And
podcast.
loyal members.
And we got I'll tell you what, we have a
brewing? What's
whole
brewing in your head?
whole group of them in
your brain?
Ormond and
How many?
New Smyrna
Yeah.
and Jack. I don't know how many people listen to the podcast. We got about 7. 7.
And 4 of them are right here.
Yeah. Well, we got my parents listen. Cy.
Yeah.
Give a shout out again. Let me try and think who else listens.
Mimi called me
Oh,
yesterday.
did she? Okay.
listens to us.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, Mimi.
We
Yeah.
got, yeah,
Hi,
we,
Mimi.
we get a few. Actually, all jokes aside, we get a good amount.
Yeah.
And then come in on Monday, and I want to share a glass of the Robert Craig Lafleur Craig.
LaFleur Craig.
A sample pour
Yeah.
just for listening.
Just
There
for
we
listening.
go.
Yeah, complimentary.
Yeah.
There you go.
How's that?
Yeah, I love it.
So you know we got now I got to buy a case and send it to each store,
Yeah.
Pablo,
Yeah.
for our
Thank you.
listeners.
Yeah. Thank
Yes.
you for your support.
If they want to find Robert Craig website, I'm sure, but
Yeah, we have a great website. Our wines are mostly sold in restaurants and country clubs. We have a little bit of retail. You won't find us in Piggly Wiggly
Sure.
or any superstore like that for sure. But find wine shops.
By the way,
okay.
did you say Piggly Wiggly?
I know.
Where'd that come from?
Where the Piggly
Where the
Wiggly
hell that come
is.
from?
Oh my God! I mean, I'm
Hey,
thinking
I have a question for you guys.
Sure.
Why SoNapa?
because we specialize in wines from Sonoma County and Napa Valley.
Okay.
Hence the name.
Thank you.
Napa. That's it. We don't,
appreciate it.
And I will say that we have had. I mean, there's some great wines being made in Paso or Monterey or North Coast or
And we've
Santa
done-
Rita Hills. And so we have. I mean, Han was Santa Rita Hills, right?
No, Santa Lucia Highlands.
So yes, but there are some.
Can you give him the 30-second story about SoNapa? Like very.
We specialize in wines from
Yeah.
Sonoma
How
County,
long-
Napa
how long did you
Valley.
start in New Smyrna?
We started in New Smyrna in 2006 as a wine club among friends, and we grew. Now we have 3 restaurants on the East Coast, looking for number 4 and number 5. And
Awesome.
yeah, we just love wines from Sonoma and Napa. We have a chef-inspired cuisine, and we serve it in a restaurant reminiscent of a tasting room.
Yeah.
And this, in fact, is called our barrel room.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
We
Well,
want
we
to
need
transport
more
people
places like this
to
to promote wine,
Yeah.
to educate younger people about
That's it.
Wine is not, you just don't make wine. You have to grow it. You have to
Right.
farm it. It takes passion. It takes labor.
Yeah.
And almost
It takes
every,
science.
almost, and I want to say a lot of the people that we support after being out there, I mean, whether it's the Trefethen family, the Palissa family, I mean, even the Wagner family, I mean, even their big production, they're still
Right.
family farmers that are
Right.
on the land. And we, now Robert Craig, and I mean, it's
Mountain pioneers.
Yeah, yeah. So we love what we do, and we're
Next time
enjoying
we're
it.
out.
We are.
Please,
Yeah.
you have my card.
Yeah.
We could come to the salon in Napa, or if you're ready to go up the hill,
Yeah.
you'll
Okay.
have a full experience.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You'll see.
Ride your bike up.
You'll see what it's all about.
Well, Chuck.
We do rides up there. We used to have the
No.
Tour de Craig.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did you really?
Oh, hell yeah. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you drive me to the top, I'll take the bike down.
It's easy.
You know what?
Yeah,
Actually,
it's a
that
blast.
sounds like-
That could be
that
more
is-
dangerous.
It's more dangerous.
It really is.
It's more dangerous.
So I did a half Ironman and a full Ironman in Sonoma, and we left out of Lake Sonoma, and so we had to come down that hill.
Trinity. Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's a nasty, curvy.
it is. It's.
I've almost killed myself coming
Yeah.
down that road.
Well, good thing you haven't. Anyway,
Hey, thanks.
wines are fantastic. Thank you for being here, and
Thank you,
so much
guys.
fun.
Thank you.
Talking to Craig. Cheers.